Here we are, another episode of What's on My Bookshelf, and we have our second guest, and I'm so excited to invite MarrGwen Dickson to share what's on her bookshelf. Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you. I'm
Good.
just beyond thrilled to be
Well,
here. The best question someone could ask me is, what am I reading? So it's great.
and so we're here because you had posted a picture of a book that you had had on your shelf for what, 15 years?
Yeah, and sadly it was in the garage at this point, but I'd still kept it
And never read it.
and only read part of it.
Okay.
Yes.
Did you end up getting rid of it, or do you have it?
I have not yet because you
Okay.
said at least hang on to it. So
What is it? Okay, what is the title?
This is our biography of Madame Pompadour, A Life. And
Okay.
I moved the book jacket, but I probably read 40 pages of it. I'm a Francophile, French was my major, so it appealed to me, and I liked that time period in France's history, so I thought, oh, this will be great. And it was great, I just never finished it, but every time I came across it over the years, I thought, I wish I could finish that book. And then finally, when I was cleaning out in the garage the other day, I thought, you know what? All it comes down to is that I wish I were the type of person that finished this book. So we're gonna let the book go, but I am gonna post on Facebook just so that everyone can know I am the type of person that would read a biography of Madame Pompadour. And that's all it comes down to. I'm not the type of person who would finish it, apparently. But I did pick it up and really wanted to read it.
Oh my God, I love that because so far, the first book that I had was showed on the series was Emma. Never read it, and I started to, and it was like I'm not probably going to go back to it or finish it. And then I have one other book that this is the same scenario, and I feel like this is kind of akin to your time frame of interest. And so it's Penny Vincenzi, No Angel is the name of the book. And I picked it up one day in a Goodwill. My mom was visiting. I remember it so clearly. I wanted to be the person who would read this book. I wanted to curl up on a rainy day with a cup of tea and think about old-timey words in English and, proper familial drama or whatever it was. And it sits there. It sits there. And so do you have other books that are similar to who you wanted to be?
So one that I don't own, but that I thought about was there's only one book in high school that I did not finish that was assigned, and that was Jane Eyre. It was Jane Eyre. I could not get through it. So that was one book that I just settled for the Cliff's Notes.
Yeah.
So I mostly read nonfiction. Okay. And so another book that I've had around for a long time that I do have a bookmark in it, apparently I got to page 112, is Consciousness Explained.
Ooh.
So these are the kinds of books that I pick up and I really want to read, but they're so heavy and dense that I often don't. And I feel like it more speaks to my reading habits.
Mm-hmm.
I tend to think of reading as something I do when I have extra time or downtime or something like that. But the things I'm drawn to are much more things that you would almost study.
Yeah.
So I wonder if I have sort of a different reading practice maybe in my future of dedicating, even if it's 15 minutes, to something that's really hard to read like that, completely outside of my field of knowledge, where so many things that are just references in the book would almost be something I would have to go and learn a little bit more about in order to continue. A handful of Richard Dawkins books, I'm like, that would be a worthy read, and yet I haven't.
We're definitely going to have to put who Richard Dawkins is because I have no idea.
Oh, okay. He's primarily a zoologist, but he's best known, I think, for his sort of philosophy books. He's much touted by non-believers, but that's not the point. The point is that they're really heady books. Mm-hmm. On the flip side, I just ordered a book. We'll see if I finish it. That's about Thomas Aquinas's 5 defenses for why God does exist. So I'm open to it all, but I get these heady books sometimes, and then I just don't always know how to continue through.
So what was the last, really light, maybe fiction book that you read?
Okay, I didn't finish it either. During the pandemic, earlier on, I thought, whew, I'm consuming so much intense information.
Mm-hmm.
I want something that's fictional.
Yeah.
So as I've been decluttering during this pandemic, I came across The Best Cat Ever,
Ooh.
which does speak to who I am. I am a cat woman. So of course, but this was a book that I had held on to for a long time. But this is one I picked up. Well, it's not fiction though. Now that I come to think, this is about an author who's writing about his actual cat. But like that was light. Well, and I guess I was thinking too, another fiction book I read was one I read aloud with my girls, which was Charlotte's Web.
Oh.
And that was so fun to reread.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good. It was just so entertaining, and especially as a read aloud, because like the characters really each have their own voice even.
So of the books that you have shown or talked about that you haven't finished, are you going to pick them back up?
Not Madame Pompadour.
Okay.
And I don't.
She's gotta go.
She's got to go. I don't think I'll finish My Cat Friend.
Yeah.
But I'm not willing to let go yet. Because it also irks me that there's a book called Consciousness Explained. And if I would just take the time to read it, I would have a little foothold on a really important life question. So I'm like, I can't I'm like, someone titled it Consciousness Explained. Like, just read it, So
I will follow up with you on that one. So I'm going to hold you a little bit accountable because a lot of my nonfiction is like a lot of subconscious mind type stuff.
Okay, like what?
Power of the Subconscious Mind is one.
Okay.
Let's see what else. Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life, Wayne Dyer. So
I've read that.
So that's been on my shelf. I think I thumbed through a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
So I think I'm very, just in my own personal journey, very aware of my conscious, subconscious. And so I am really curious what that book brings to the table.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like I really want to know more about the consciousness, and then maybe we could do book exchanges so we don't just throw them away.
There you go. They can continue to live on another bookshelf.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Just want to say thank you again to MarrGwen for joining us on this episode and sharing some of the books that she's been reading, or rather not reading, that have been on her bookshelf. And I thought with the one that I had brought to the table, this Penny Vincenzi No Angel, a novel, that maybe I should see what I have been missing by not reading it. So this is a book, as I mentioned, that was purchased at a Goodwill, and it was who I wanted to be at the time. And I don't know necessarily who that was, just a reader, a voracious one apparently, because this is a thick book. That's what she said. Anyway, it's kind of interesting to think about the books that we have, why we have them, why we bought them, who we were at the time, who we wanted to be, who we thought we were going to be, who we thought we are, evolving, staying the same. I don't know. Go think about your life. But before you do, let's see what we've been missing. Okay. They arrived at the concert hall about 3/4 of an hour early. That would not be me arriving 45 minutes early to anything. There was a small queue waiting outside. Daniels leapt out of his seat, opened the door for Barty with a flourish, half bowed as she got out, handed her. My bow really threw me off, so let's just take it from Daniels leapt out of his seat, opened the door for Barty with a flourish, half bowed as she got out, handed her the music case. The small queue started. Barty wasn't sure if she was glad or sorry. Good luck, m'lady Barty. I'm sure it will go very well. I shall be waiting here for you afterwards. I might actually go read this book. I'm a little curious what the deal is. It's a hefty novel, but I suppose I have all the time in the world. Thanks for joining me on this episode of What's on My Bookshelf with Jill.
read you next time. Get it? Read you, like see you next time, but read, because we're talking about books. Okay, bye.